anything. They are there in it. It's fine. So I'll write this. Is there any music involved in mathematics? Is there?
Yes.
Okay, rhythm is there. Huh?
Recitation, table recitation.
Table recitation, anything else there? So should I write? Okay.
To remember any formulas and others.
And theatre. Remember it. Theatre. Mathematics also can be taught and can be learned through theatre. Dramatization. Though we have not tried, but then now, with Vice Principal's presence, we are going to have one drama on mathematics. Sooner we have any program, 15th of August, have it. We did tenses once, those who are there. Such a wonderful presentation of the students, a drama on tenses. You were there, Anjali? No. Somebody old. Like, just see, if you were not there, you don't remember.
Sir, I was there, but I was preparing the notes.
Okay. Somebody else who noticed it.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
You are seeing.
Yes,
Girls were performing.
Old ones, they must have seen.
Yes.
There's a nice way of presentation of it. And it gives an everlasting impact on the mind. So let us have one drama in mathematics. Theatre can be used. So that is what visual, music and theatre. Okay. And then the musical. That is fine. You can say all. It's okay. There is no problem in it. No? So musical intelligence of an individual can be expressed, grasped, taught, learned through these. All the four. Then we have kinesthetic. What is kinesthetic? Morning we have aerobic PT on daily basis. That is what kinesthetic. The presentation of an individual, a teacher teaching there in the class, and while he uses his body language, that again is the same. Kinesthetic.
Body language is a part of language.
Not body language.
Okay, sir.
It is not a body language.
Communication part.
Communication.
Okay.
It is a communication. Gesture. Though other way it is body language because meaning is being conveyed through those gestures. Body. This can be written as bodily also. Bodily kinesthetic. Meaning is movement of an. Theatre is 100% involved in it. You can start with theatre. You just say there is a theatre in it. There is a music in it. There is a recitation in it. Okay? Theatre and music. And then visual because one is visible. Visual images are there. And then dance, that also. All the four. Then we have interpersonal. What are those? I hope you understand these, what they are. Like when we say logical, mathematical and all that, is one whose mind is good in mathematical calculation. He finds at home with all these logical ways. That is what this is. And one who is good in music. And one who is good in kinesthetic, all the exercises. Not only all the exercises. Do you remember? There are those other three words. Cognitive, affective, and then we have psychomotor. Psychomotor or psychomotive. So just see, this is intellectual. Cognitive is intellectual. Your capabilities to solve any problem, to work out any kind of solutions for you, and then affective is emotional aspect of yours, and then we have psychomotive. Psychomotive is this kinesthetic. When one is not able to go along with others, march past you, some people, they walk on left, right. There are few those who those who walk right, left, right, left. Others, they are on left, and one or maybe more than one also could be right. When somebody raises the hands up, somebody raises down side. Odd man out. When you cannot coordinate, when you cannot go on with others, that means you lack in it. Poor coordination of yours. Is okay. It's a kind of body movement or reactions of your body. Your mind gives you directions. So that is what it is. Okay, this is what kinesthetic. Kinesthetic, psychomotor. And it can be learned, it can be trained. Okay, one can learn this art. Okay, then we come to interpersonal. What are those interpersonal? You have patience. You accept the ideas of the people. You move your ideas, and when the people accept or don't accept, you don't mind. It's okay because it is the age when we have different opinions, and opinions could have differences also. Doesn't matter. That kind of. These are those kind of people where sometimes they got a lot of convincing among the people. They can convince the people. They are the people those who are managers, executives. They are the people those who are politicians also. Interpersonal skills. Sometimes they may not let somebody know what is there in the mind, but as per the situation, they will do it. They will not burst out immediately. They are those people those who are smart in the interpersonal skills. Now, which kind of music comes, or what comes in between? What is there? I'll just say music. Why I'll just say music? Harmonization of the mind. These are the people those who have got some kind of soothing, control over those sensory elements. There are people, those who can accept somebody's opinion. That means there is a patience in one. And patience will be only through harmonization of different elements of yours. So I'll just say music. Is there any other? Theatre can be taken.
Visual can be also, like we have to visualize the future.
That is okay, but then these are those major ones. Okay? Tough one. And then we have intrapersonal. What is intrapersonal? Self-control. Control over your own senses. Control over your own mind. Or the other way it can be put, when we say interpersonal, then we say social relations. And when we say intrapersonal, your own self, you are controlling. Your own emotions, they are under your control. Is fine? When we say emotional intelligence in your emotions, Dr. Daniel Goleman, he has written that book, bestseller of the world, Emotional Intelligence. Intelligence in your emotions. And these are those two kind of skills people have this. People, those who have intelligence in their emotions. Interpersonal and intrapersonal. And remember, one who does not have self-control, he cannot control others. That means first is enjoy control over your own self. Then only you can control others. If you break down immediately, people will not accept you. Once a manager was there and he was highly emotive. He sometimes in the staff itself used to talk a lot about his past and will be in tears. People, you know how they are going to live, isn't it? They will not accept. When you have your own control, then others will know he's a strong man, he's a strong person. And that kind of strength, these interpersonal and intrapersonal strengths are needed for somebody to be on that higher platform. Okay? Suppose a teacher says, I'm not able to control the class, and then brings those students to the principal, and principal also says, I'm also like you, I'm not able to control. He talks on the same way. There is no meaning of that. Is there any meaning? He should find new ways. Anyhow, this is what? Self and then others. Managing your own self and managing others. These two other words also can be utilized for these. Now, when we say intrapersonal, which one? Harmonization, musical. That is fine. And then theatre is fine. These two. And then we have spatial. Spatial, this is in itself you can say visualization or visual. Generally people with this smartness, they are scientists. They are imaginators. They are with meteorological departments. They are the people those who can have high calculations of some objects moving in the space. They are star readers, weather forecast. They are the people. So visualization is the best intelligence of these kind of people. And that is what I'll just say this. And then what else can be there out of these? What else? I don't know, theatres may not work with these kind of people. Theatre may not work. But then you can have this music. That is okay. Otherwise, visual. Visualization is fine. Anticipation of the events happening. Future calculations. They are the best people for these kind of things. They are the people those who can have forecast of the events. Is fine? I'll just say this. And then we have naturalists. Best. Naturalists, you understand what they are? Those who believe in nature. Trees, plants, water, stones, they can talk to anything. And when we find somebody talking to plants and trees and birds and all, we say, Pagla gaya. That is what we say. But then they love nature. They are the people, those who have extreme integration with nature. They are the people, they have highest spontaneity of their feelings. They are the people, those who are called as romantics. They are the people, those who can bridge any kind of gaps anyway arising. They never find themselves alone in the world. They will find their association with books or with stones, with water or trees. They are those naturalists. So there is a music in it. That is what Pankaj Mishra was talking of, and it is there to start with. There is a music in it, and then we have any other? Visual. Visual is fine. Anything else? That is fine.
These poets and this all, they can dance. Dance can be also part.
Dance also, yes, it can be done.
Basically, they are dancing from the mindset. Not
Theatre, dance, theatre. That means all the four. And the last, Existentialist. What is existentialist? How world came into existence. That means some explorations they have of the past and then leading themselves to the future. That is what existentialist meaning is. How we came into existence. Like Darwin, theory of evolution. That starts from there. It's okay. That is what existentialist is. Reading carbon contents, how man came into being, or how living beings came into being, or what will be the future after 50 years, or after 100 years, or after a million years, or something. What we were a million years ago. People say, na, so they are those. It's fine. So, musical and visualization. It's fine. Now, I'll just say, by looking at these, find out your intelligences and associate with these arts. Which arts you are equipped with more and which arts can be utilized. But remember, other arts also we can develop. Other intelligences also can be developed in an individual. If we don't have, we can develop that. Fine? Okay. I'll just start with that topic now. These were general things.
How to increase this intrapersonal skills?
How to?
Increase the intrapersonal skills of someone. Emotional
Very
someone
good.
is very weak.
Very good. And this is the topic I like most. It's the topic which I like most. Interpersonal and intrapersonal. You see, you must understand your body. Whether you like to say something?
So through yoga we can develop this.
No doubt, you can. That is what. But then I just say you must understand man. You must understand your own self. You must read your own self, what we really are. When I say if I do something, this is good for me or good for somebody. First thing, let it always be good for your own self. You are doing something, the effect of it has to be on you only, not on somebody. That is one. And when Lord Krishna says, everything that you look around, I am there in all these. There is nothing in this where I am not there. All the living beings, they have emanated out of me. But I am there below. And when you consider all these, then you consider everyone as an element of the God. And you start respecting the people. You will not denigrate the people. You will consider Lord Krishna, or godly elements everywhere. Problem is only one, which I go on speaking, that we start doubting. Nahi, Anuradha godly element kaise ho sakti? Yes, she is a teacher there in school. She is a teacher, it's okay. But then godly elements are there. This, what listens and what speaks, that is what godly. The spirit that we call, the soul that we call. Rest beyond it, that is what worldly is. Everything. Your habits, which are going to travel with you. Your traits, which are going to travel with you. The soul is not going to be there with you. When we say liberation is only one. Going to heaven is a different thing. That is not liberation, remember it. Somebody says, no sir, going to heaven also is the same. No, not at all. Liberation is only one when your soul has gone and have evaporated into that godly element, into that God. Your soul, jisko hum Atma and Param Atma, it has gone and mixed with that. He says that he has scattered the seed all around. For him, we are only just seeds, nothing beyond. He has scattered the seeds, and all the Srijamahan, they are all grown because I have thrown the seeds. At the end of the millennium, all these living beings, they will come back to me. And then again I'll scatter them. I'll create. When moksha is only one, when you are gone and mixed with him, you are not a separate entity then. And if you say that you are gone to the heaven, that is separate entity. Moksha is not there. That means it's a picnic for you for a short while. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि शिल्पा के आज बच्चों को पिकनिक लेके जाते हैं. She is gone. It's a temporary enjoyment you have. Remember it. Heaven is nothing but a temporary enjoyment of yours, and again you have to come back. You enjoy it and come back. That is what I am. Anyhow, that is what now, if you understand the complete system of ours, the body system, the complete body system, broadly speaking, body, mind, intellect, and spirit. Broadly speaking, mind further has got 4 parts in it. Body has got other different parts in it. Once you understand this, your own self and what you are here, that is why I started with Asto Master, what we are here for. Then your conduct will change immediately. Your behavior and your interaction, receiving the people. By being noble, we are helping ourselves. Being noble, we help ourselves. By being with no patience of our mind, that also is our own creation. So once you have these two, first thing, understanding of your own self, that is one. Secondly, there is one more thing. Be with such kind of people around. Be with those kind of people. Interpersonal, always be with the people. Share with them. Play with them. Work with them. If nobody has sought your help, go and help them. There are people, those who volunteer themselves to help others, and that is how sometimes these skills, they can be developed. These can be. शंकराचार्य ने षटकोण जो लिखा है, किस किस को याद है? Do you know? उसको only 6 stanzas are there. मनोबुद्धि अहंकार चित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण नेत्रे न च भूमि न तेजो न वायु चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. हम वो शब्द चित्त आनंद जब इसको डिस्क्राइब करते हैं ना, अपनी सोल की भी प्रवृत्ति, अगर कोई कहे कि व्हाट इज द क्वालिटी ऑफ योर सोल, तो ओनली दीज 3 वर्ड्स. व्हाट आर द क्वालिटीज ऑफ गॉड? दीज 3 वर्ड्स, सत्य चित्त आनंद. ये 6 हैं. दिस इज ओनली द फर्स्ट वन बिकॉज आई एम unnecessarily going into those details that will drag on the time. That is one, and they are the best way to develop. And you go for a walk, long walk, be in the lap of the nature, that is one. And better than that is go and play a team game. Okay, that is better. This is one idea I have. Go and play with the people. You will try to know others' traits, and you will try to have patience, bearing with the people, and all that. It's fine. And work with others. That is again, it's a very good trait. Anyhow, these are those kind of things. So I'll just start with now that topic, and hurriedly I'll just go through that. Some idea from this you must have got it. Eh? Okay. If there are a few other important points before I finally go for that PPT, I'll just look at it. Because these have been spoken. You drawn a picture, you have written something that I have done it, and have you ever planned a lesson for the class? Have a habit of planning at least twice. Lesson plan. If you are not done, kindly do it. And submit every year to the office. That will enhance your professionalism. Now, visual and performing arts, they are fine. You understood both these? Look at this definition. The third one. Isko bada karu? Is visible?
Yes, sir.
It's fine?
Yes.
Look at this definition. Utilizing visual and performing arts in teaching and learning processes. Encounters creativity. It's fine. That means once you use all these four, though it is mentioned two, but you know that these two are nothing but four. If you utilize in teaching and learning, that means you are encouraging among the students creativity. This is what a wonderful thing. Utilize it, and then automatically creativity is built up, is developed among the children. You are encouraging those children to exercise that. And then, along with that, there is another one. Problem solving abilities are developed among the children and improves the ability to handle mental imagery. That means three things. You are encouraging creativity. Second, problem solving abilities. Mental imagery. There also you help the child to develop. Is fine? This definition also sometimes is very useful. Arts integration is an approach to teaching and learning through which content standards are taught. Now, this, whenever you are teaching a particular topic, you must look into what are the basics of it, or what are the standards of it. Standards of the arts and standards of the content. They are to align themselves. Like poetry when you teach, that means a musical concert it is, recitation it is. The voice also can be borrowed by somebody. You can borrow the voice of somebody in order to create that kind of effect on the children. Amitabh Bachchan coming over. Anyway, this is out of the way. But then there are many good people here. They have their own musical notes in them. They can utilize. It's okay. So arts integration is an approach to teaching and learning through which content standards they are to be taught and assessed equitably in. This word equitable. What is equitable? Fairly. Fairly, with no. Just generally we have this kind of opinions now. He's a different kind of guy. He will unnecessarily ask me something, or he will never do it. Be fair. Give an opportunity to everyone. That is what equitability is. And through arts, studies intended to provide general knowledge and intellectual skills. Arts studies, they are intended to increase your knowledge and then secondly intellectual skills. Is fine? Okay. Now these are general scenarios that teacher teaches. He sweats, he enunciates, elaborates, speaks a lot, and spends his 40 minutes. And output when he evaluates may not be there. He says, yeah, so much of labor I have put into it. Even children also sometimes they feel tired of a teacher. Which way he uses the language, I don't appreciate it. So then in that case, the best way is use these arts. Because there, the interest also, that is first thing. Interest will be generated. Curiosity will be generated. And place also will change. Sitting at one particular place for such a long time. Place also will change. Take them outside. Or make them stand somewhere here. Form groups. There is one very good way immediately it is spoken while we teach mathematics. Concentric circles. I did not know what these concentric circles are. But when I looked at it, that what these concentric circles are in the classroom, two circles formed where the center is the same. So we say students, they will get up and form two concentric circles. This will stay in their mind forever. They will never forget what these concentric circles are. Or then you have those squares, same number of students every week, or triangles and likewise. These can be utilized in that. So when children they are fed up with the system of teaching, listening, being passive, you make the class interactive. Where interest gets generated, they are the part of it, they get involved, and they are the ones, those who learn from each other, they learn from the teacher also, they learn from each other. And the best teaching in the classroom is peer teaching. I hope you know that. Students learn from the students more rather than from the teacher. So that also happens. I'll just show you those kind of things. Okay, I'll go to that particular topic. Look at these two definitions also. I believe arts education in music, theatre, dance and the visual arts is one of the most creative ways. Underline it. Alright? This is the most creative way to teach a subject through these two arts. Then why I have not been following it so far? It's fine. I believe arts education in music, theatre, dance and visual arts is one of the most creative ways. We have found the gold that is just under the crust. Otherwise we always say gold is found in the deep mines. We generally don't say under the crust. That is what the meaning of it. Right? So easy. That these arts are to be utilized for teaching, and this is the most creative way. And children, they have an enthusiasm for life, a spark of creativity and vivid imagination that need training that prepares them to become confident among men and women. That means they are to be trained how arts are to be utilized. First teacher has to learn, then children, they are to be taught. And then once they know, their confidence will come. Now, next is an elementary school that treats the arts as the province of a few gifted children. People have been considering only few of the children, they are interested in art. No, everyone is interested. Just see, all these multiple intelligences have spoken of it, that we do have arts in us. So, utilize that. Okay, now, another statement of this is future belongs to those young people, those who have education and imagination to create. किसने कहा है ये? Barack Obama spoke it. And Winston Churchill once spoke in 1945 or so. He says the future belongs to the people, those who utilize their mind. You can ask, sir, is there anybody who doesn't utilize the mind? Yes, there are people those who do. Mind here is intellect. And even if they utilize in different areas. Now, art integration, PPT. Two arts are there, performing art, visual art, that is fine. And then difference between these, that generally art education is for one particular subject and this is for the entire curriculum. All the subjects, no limitation of it. The entire curriculum. What is curriculum? Poonam Bhutani. What is curriculum?
The lessons that we will learn during the years.
It's the process of teaching.
Yes.
How the syllabus has to be covered. Remember how. Curriculum tells you how the things are to be achieved. That is curriculum. It's okay. And syllabus is the objective that you have. So that is what this. So art integrated learning or art integrated education is that you involve arts in imparting your curriculum. Whereas that is only through your sensory exploration. What sensory exploration? Your senses, they are involved.
So may I say something?
Anything. We are there only for this.
So like I have a doubt. I feel that the curriculum is the content that we are going to taught, and it is the pedagogy of the subject that will tell us how to taught that subject.
That you must be right. The curriculum, the total content and pedagogy is the process. Is right to see. Yes, that is fine. Very good. Now, art integrated learning. What it is going to give you? It says, helps the child apply art-based inquiry. That means art-based inquiries, they are going to be applied by the child. Inquiry, investigation, exploration, critical thinking and problem solving. That is art-integrated learning, art-integrated education. And then for deeper understanding of the subject. It is an experiential learning also. I hope you understand experiential learning. You experience and then you learn. By doing it, then you learn. Generally, when these teachers, they have art involved in the classrooms, maybe like a drama has been presented. That is an experience. The poetry has been recited and it has been performed also. That is an experience. Or a science teacher, he takes the students to the classroom, the labs. Their practicals are performed. That also is an experience. So that is what experience is. And for experiential learning, makes the teaching and learning process joyful. Once interest is generated, definitely it has to be that joyful. And development of life skills. How these automatically, just see these life skills, they will automatically be generated because the child has got up now and he is prepared to learn. He is the one who is performer now. So long teacher was there, but then now the child has taken that decision. Communication, how to go with others. These are the critical thinking of it, rather criticizing something and then reaching a conclusion. Problem solving ability. These are those natural things which are, we call them as 21st century skills also. Life skills also, which helps an individual to lead his life peacefully and progressively. And then 21st century skills, again these collaboration, communication, critical thinking and problem solving. And there are many more of course along with that, like having a patience, that also we are interpersonal and intrapersonal skills, they are also so they are there. That they are going to children, they are going to equip with, they are going to learn. and then self-esteem. Once he does all these kind of things, then his self-esteem, that will rise. And appreciation for aesthetics and creativity, that also will rise. Broadens the mind to find a multidisciplinary link of the subjects. That means all these subjects, they are linked together. It's fine? If somebody says, what are the benefits of art integrated learning? Without looking at it, don't look at it now. Can we count? First,
Sir, make the learning joyful.
Learning process joyful. Very good. हाँ भूपेंद्र, एक बताओ, doesn't matter. You just see.
तो सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज को रियल लाइफ से कैसे कनेक्ट करना है?
अच्छा ओके, वो रियल लाइफ से कैसे कनेक्ट करना है, एक मिनट बैठिए. पहले तो हम बेनिफिट देख रहे हैं, then I'll come back to this. Let us count those benefits also. ना, what are the advantages of having artificial integrated learning? First is the communication, joyful communication. Communication will go higher. Interest among the doers, that will be generated. His self-esteem will rise. His confidence also will go higher. These skills, because he is working with others. He is not working in isolation. He is working with others, so these life skills, they are going to rise. It's okay. 21st century communication skills and life skills. Life skills, which are those for survival and for thriving in life, they are helpful. It's okay. Yeah. That story is well read by you and well known also, no? When a teacher or a preacher was there and sailing in the river, there, since he was well aware of his learning, he started boasting a lot to that boatsman, and he said, "Do you know this grammar?" He started asking something else. He said, no. And then he started, if you don't know this kind of thing, you are gone. Like, what is there with you? Nothing. Your life is unnecessarily wasted. He was thinking of that it is only his life which is useful. And then the storm came. When the storm came, then the boatman said, "Sir, do you know how to swim?" He said, "Then your complete life is wasted. I am going to dive and I am going to cross this." So that is what life skill is. Life skill is the boatman was having. That is why we say sustenance comes the first. If you know how to sustain yourself, then there is a life skill, otherwise it is not. Now, Bhupendra's school is fine on this. How Bhupendra don't know how to associate with the life. That is what it is now. This is the question. And that only we have been discussing so far. This art will help you only this way when you are able to associate it with the real life. अब देखिए जैसे मैं बताता हूँ, जॉन कीट्स पोएम है, A thing of beauty is a joy for her. A thing of beauty is a joy for her. And then create those kind of characters in your class where sometimes they know something of the nature. And then you must associate this nature to the life also. How essential. Why he says a thing of beauty is a joy for her? Why did he say so? Why? This is what, like when we say a thing of beauty, that is pleasing to our sensorial mind. It gives us happiness. And what is pleasing to us, what gives happiness, that is everlasting. That is why it says. So that association of this nature to the life, how essential it is and why he has appreciated nature, that is one. Is fine. Then suppose another poem comes. where sometimes the world is too much with us. William Wordsworth says. When he says the world is too much with us, he talks of the worldly things. We are more involved in the outside world. We go on amassing them. We go on accumulating plenty of things which we need or we don't need, but we just think of having possession of it. That's what it goes. So you just tell, there are people, those who have plenty of wealth, but they still could be unhappy in their lives. They must be crying at the end of the day. And there are people, those who work on these roads, and in the evening hours they may have some folk laws. They must be singing good songs, dances and all that. Hilarious ones. That is association with life. This is about poetry I am talking of. Likewise, suppose there is a chapter. And that chapter speaks of some kind of battle fought in the past. So that can be associated with the life. Then you have other doubts or this only you are talking?
No, sir. He is a.
It's fine. Okay. Fine. Shall we go on to the next? Okay. Importance of arts, I don't have to speak. So far we have been speaking only this. Arentego's statement. In art, man reveals himself and not the object. Rather, your own feelings, they are being expressed. Thrust of this I have spoken, that people have not paid much attention to the art in the Middle Ages, though in the past people used to have, but then they lost track of it. And while a child is there in 10th class or maybe 11th and 12th, and if the child is going to pursue art as his vocation, how many people appreciate it? How many parents appreciate it? They say, "अरे भूखा मरेगा, क्या करेगा इसमें? साइंटिस्ट बन, इंजीनियर बन, डॉक्टर बन, यही मेन है, यही मेन है ना। तो म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट तो हम कहते हैं क्या? This is what we say. So that is what sometimes he says thrust of education, that it has taken a secondary stage. Major is the compartmentalization of physics, chemistry, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, accountancy, business studies, economics. When somebody says economics to मेरा interest नहीं है, then but what way you are going to pull on in your life? Economics is an essential part of this group. That is what we say. Is fine now? Okay, and then what do we mean by art integrated education? That means, इसको बड़ा करूँ ना? A pedagogy of experiential learning. That means you gain experience by performing. You have performance and you then evolve. You know. Then a pedagogy where art becomes the basis of teaching learning process. An opportunity for students where they can experience visual as well as performing art. They can have an experience to build his comprehension of the subjects and different concepts. थोड़ा ज़्यादा जल्दी है. वैसे these things have been covered when I took those multiple, because nobody is beyond those 8, 9. Nobody is beyond these. And when we have talked of it, that everywhere, all intelligences, they fall under one or these arts. Then in that case, everything can be taught through art. Yeah. These are those things which sometimes will. Why is art integration valuable? These important points they have been discussed. First thing, it addresses your multiple intelligences fine. Second, builds literacy skills across subjects. That means it creates a bond between the subjects. It bridges the gaps between them. अब तो जब कोई सोशल साइंस पढ़ाने वाला जाता है ना, तो साइंस टीचर सोशल साइंस This is what it happens, na? थोड़ी बहुत फीलिंग जाती होगी कि यार I am of mathematics, I am of physics, I am of chemistry, I am at this. No, not at all. This art tells you how they are interconnected, and that helps an individual develop the whole child. Other day, a teacher was there with 15, 16 years of experience, and he was talking of holistic development. I said, what is that holistic? Sir, overall. What is that overall? Sunil, batao. When we say holistic development or overall development, what it is? Develop the whole child, it says na, meaning क्या है इसका? इसका meaning है mental, social, cultural, emotional, intellectual and spiritual. It's fine? All these 6 areas. What is that mental? Bodily also. So body, likho, let us see how many these are. Body, mind, intellect, social, cultural, spiritual. 6 are there, na? 6 aspects of it. If you develop them, like just say morning, your PT, parade, they are equally essential. And Mr. Pradeep has been doing a very good task. Coordination of body and mind. Working with others, going with others, that develops over there. Fine? And then we have engages community, means people work together. They share with each other, they criticize each other, they evolve together. That is what engages community. Community, students community, and sometimes teachers community also. Which way? Poonam Bhutani, I'll again ask you. Which way it helps teaching community? Like just see, it engages community. Community is one word which has been there, but I just said students community and teacher community. Students community because teacher has involved all the students together. And remember, you need to work with each other. You need to share with others, particularly the art teacher. An English teacher has to share with art teacher which way to go for this. I wanted to teach this particular lesson. There is this story in it, and a mathematics teacher, and other teachers. And while you teach one thing, you involve other subjects also in it. Take a mathematics teacher into continent. This topic is there. Suppose it is topology of Sikkim you are doing. You know food habits of those people. Trees and plants grown over there. Culture of those. Dances of that particular area. The food elements which are there, like in Haryana we generally have wheat, rice and all that. What are those crops grown over there? And which are the irrigation systems over there? So that mathematics also can be involved, science also can be involved, social science also can be involved, and English also can be involved. That is what literacy among the subjects is developed. Is fine?
Yes.
Teaching community and student community is understood. Okay, very good. Encourage is differentiated instruction. Better, Poonam? Bipin, let us see. Encourages differentiated instruction. Different kind of instruction. Just see, inclusive education, you know. What is inclusive education? Where all are accommodated in the same, similar way. What are the characteristics of our constitution? Or when we say India as a country, what are those characteristics of India? Where everyone is equal before the law. You cannot have differentiated feelings or treatment given to an individual. in the class also. You need to have the same. You know, when you are going to a particular class, there are 30 children. Take it. They belong to how many families? 30 families. Do you feel they will all have the similar habits?
No, different.
Different. So different social background, different cultural background. Some of them must be working somewhere in the field, some of them must be working on the shop, somebody must be serving somewhere, somebody must be trading somewhere, likewise. That is what different encourages differentiated instruction. That means I must understand each and every child, and that way include everyone and give that kind of instructions to those people, those who are. So there is an inclusive education also, and then differentiated instruction. A child has come from a Hindi background, and you have English as medium of instruction. You know that this child has come from a Hindi background. Give a different instruction to that particular child. So that is there any meaning of giving instructions when the child has not understood? Is there any meaning? No, not at all. So come down and involve the child in that. Encourage culturally relevant curricula. Curricula. है ना? Plural of curriculum. Which sometimes Ajit has talked of targets, the syllabus, the contents of it. Encourages culturally relevant curriculum. That means that curriculum which has been designed keeping culture into our mind. Like now, that new education policy has been framed, and then they say that nation has to be given due importance. That is first thing. Children up to 5th class, preferably the regional language is required to be utilized in the medium of instruction. And then up to 8th also you can proceed. So that is what. Okay? Then, secondly, when you have some kind of vocational courses for a short period followed in your school, all the people from local areas, suppose here carpentry, or maybe other areas which are there, but suppose you are in Odisha, you are on the bank of the sea, so they say fishing could be one of those areas. So there is a difference between these. It's okay. There are different kind of those skills could be there and could be imparted among the children. And then 21st century skills, fine. Major 4 C's we take. We say 3 R's, na? We say 3 R's, reading, writing and arithmetic. And 4 C's when we say this 21st century skill. Which are those? Communication, collaboration and critical thinking, and then creativity. It's okay. Problem solving also comes. So there are plenty of others, 21st, but major these 4 C's are calculated. Engage students in authentic activities. Those students, when you give them a task, they feel very happy doing it, and it becomes an authority on the part of that child that he has done it, or he knows it. That is what authentic. And then students become peer teachers. They help each other. They teach each other. And whenever it is peer teaching, the maximum teaching and learning takes place. No doubt in it, na? The minimum is like I am doing now. The minimum is when teacher is at the center and he considers everyone as to be facing the syllabus. Minimum teaching. Maximum is peer teaching. And then this arts education or arts integrated learning that overlaps with project-based learning, PBL. That means projects are given. It's okay. Overlapping. Project-based learning takes place, that is almost the same. And universal design for learning. This is a universal design. which is being adopted universally. And powerful tool for demonstrating understanding. It's okay. It's a powerful tool. Arts integration addresses multiple. This we are done. I don't know which way you can have a comparison, but doesn't matter. Whichever way we analyze and we calculate it. These same things must be here. You see, when it comes to music, they say music, dance, theatre. These three have taken. Another interpersonal. All the four they have taken in interpersonal. And intrapersonal also the same. Likewise, we also must have done the same thing without looking at it. It's fine? Now, how to design an arts integrated lesson? This partly, Upendra also was asking almost the same thing. कि सर ये करना कैसे है? This was there ना Upendra कि इसको life skill के साथ में कैसे, life के साथ में how to attach it. So there, these different areas are there. The first thing, you must identify the content and the basic standards of it, basic concepts, and art standards. Align them together. How to go for it. Arts, when I talk of, immediately those four areas, they should be there in your mind. When we broadly say visual and performing arts, otherwise there are these four. That means those four, they are the art standard, like musical, dance, theatre, and visual. These. And then which way your standards are to be selected out of the lesson, out of the topic that you are going to teach, and they can both be incorporated with each other. That is first thing. That means you need to work for it. And then secondly, it says to ensure rigor, involvement of an individual. Pull out the standards identified for use in the art integrated learning lesson. Fine? And then determine final student outcome while you perform. Then you can look at learning outcome. Learning outcome, in the beginning also you must pay attention to a topic that you have taken. What are the learning outcomes? That means a lesson plan has to be prepared well. You must know what learning outcomes are there of this lesson. If you are going without learning outcomes, you are failing yourself right in the beginning. And you are failing those students. If you are not written learning outcome of any of those topics, it's utterly wrong. Then evaluate the student. When you evaluate the students, you can review those, whether all those learning outcomes which you expected are there or they are not there. And replan it. That is what this lesson has to be designed. Educators always consider the abilities of their students. Like just see, different age, different classes, and different subjects. Put them into your mind before you plan something. A small child, in the beginning, he is more interested in not in the outcome, more in the process. Small child. Grown up will be more interested in the outcome rather than the process. It's okay? This is what different, like just a starting drawing development in children. And then just a 2-year child, the way he has drawn. It's visible now. And then slightly grown up again, and likewise goes on improving. And lastly, look at your faces. This way he has or she has drawn that face of an individual. Read these three things. Students under the age of 8 generally are more interested in the process rather than the objects or the output of it. Most VAPA. Poonam, ये क्या है? Papa. What is it? You are.